What's going on there, Silent Squad? Kenny here, also known as SilentFan85. Of course, this will be uploaded to both YouTube and Twitch. Here's something I want to talk to you guys about. I'm very thirsty. I've been dehydrated all day. New job. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. But um, just to note real quick for those that are watching this, as of 7/6/18, we were doing a Pokemon Go stream. Had a bit of a family emergency. Had a very close family member that has been diagnosed with PTSD, and may or may not have another disorder. Not me, but again, a very close family member. I'm not going to disclose who it was, but they ended up having an episode, and that's a family emergency because of what I go through, and when I know what it's like. So when I know somebody else is going through it, bam, I'm there because, or I try to be, especially if they're really close to me, especially in person. So anyway, that's we had to cut the Pokemon Go stream. By the way, which the Pokemon Go streams have been going fantastic, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. Especially the Pokemon Go chill streams, which if you guys don't know what the chill streams are, it's a thing I've been doing for a while, but it's really taken off with Pokemon Go to where we throw on some music, we just sit, chill out. With Pokemon Go, I put on an incense a bit and see what pops up. Over on Twitch, it has been, or here on Twitch, it has been hitting about close to upwards of 35 to 40 people at some points. So it's actually pretty awesome. Okay, I had to clear my nose. Anyway, but what this vlog is about, because I want to keep you guys up to date, but just to let you know, everything's okay now. But PTSD episodes, bipolar episodes, triggers. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, just do a little bit of research. You'll see what I'm talking about. They're no joke. They plague your mind. They plague your soul. They really scare your family sometimes, and that's exactly what happened tonight. So, but things are better for the moment, and getting through, trying to make it better permanently. And that's about the only thing you really can do, especially if you've been diagnosed with something like that, with a mental disorder. You need to keep going. It's a struggle. I mean, for a lot of people, it is a lifelong struggle. You are probably not going to be able to escape it. And you shouldn't try. You shouldn't try to escape it. You should embrace it. You should accept it. And you should look at what you can do to make your life better and live with it. A lot of people say, tough it out. It's all mental. It is mental. Problem is, you can't escape it. And it makes it worse if you concentrate on that. So you shouldn't try to fight it. You should just let it happen. Obviously, make sure you don't hurt yourself or anybody else. But what I do is I'll step aside, just say, hey, listen, I need to do something. I'll be right back. And it helps. It helps. Now, sometimes you can't do that. And sometimes that emotional state, that trigger, that episode, it's going to affect things. Especially if you get them like I do. Now, thankfully, mine are few and far in between. They're getting there. But they've, to put it bluntly, they've cost me. It's not easy dealing with this stuff. It's not easy dealing with life. And that's really what I kind of wanted to do with this vlog. I'm rambling a bit, but it's going to be a bit of a long vlog. But hopefully you guys forgive me for that. If you make it to the end, thank you. But there's been a lot going on in my life. And in the last couple of weeks, my bipolar and my PTSD from my childhood. If you guys want to know more about that, just look back in further serious modes and vlogs, and you'll kind of get a story of what's going on. But it roots back to my childhood, my PTSD, and having to do with a family member that, wasn't exactly acting like family. I'll just put it that way. Kind of vague, kind of mysterious, but I don't really want to get into it. I'm dealing with it. I don't know. I'm getting better with it. But anyway, the last month has been crazy. Um, I got laid off again, so that was a bit of a blow. You know, um, file finally filing divorce paperwork. Going to be doing that next week. It wasn't easy to read the paperwork. It wasn't easy to read the paperwork of the divorce because the things, the terms that are mentioned in it, it's heavy. It's really heavy. It's nobody's fault and nobody's pointing fingers, but even with a mutual divorce, it's still heavy because you're losing, and it's going to take me time to heal from it, and I'm dealing with that. But there are also certain stages that I need to move on to. I don't have names for the stages. I'm sure there are names for it, but I'm entering one stage now by actually filing the paperwork. As hard as that is, because I know that paperwork will lead to, within a matter of a year, me being legally and permanently, in a lot of ways, not in every way, but in a lot of ways, disconnected from my wife. She won't be my wife anymore. She won't be this person that I wanted to build a life with. Of course, I'll always have a spot in my heart for her, obviously. But that's the heavy part about it, is the time invested in the relationship, the moments you remember, the good and the bad. And I don't really blame myself a whole lot for the divorce again, because it's really, we just agreed that we're better off as friends. But there are times, again, with even a mutual thing, even a mutual breakup, even not a divorce, And let's just say a breakup of somebody that you went out with for maybe a few months, but you really liked them. You still find yourself blaming yourself sometimes, And but you take a divorce, somebody that you dedicated yourself to, especially your very first marriage, your first rodeo, first time going through this. And people can give you advice all they want. They can talk to you until they're blue in the face. They can say, you're give you this advice, this and that. But in the end, you're the one dealing with it. You're the one carrying the weight, and that weight shifts. You're gonna have your light days. You're gonna have your heavy days. And I've had my heavy days. And it really has affected my life a lot more than I thought it would. Obviously, I'm down here. I'm resetting. Got a job. Got a car. Doing streams again. And I mentioned earlier on the Pokemon Go stream, for my regulars here on the YouTube channel. You guys know that when I first started streaming, and for those that came on the scene back then, I streamed constantly, pretty much every day. But over the past few years, I've kind of cut back a bit because I've had so much baggage. Well, maybe not baggage, but emotional weight that has just been put on me and put on me and put on me. And a lot of it was voluntary. I put it on myself. Some of it wasn't, Some of it was stuff in my past that popped up. Again, goes back to the PTSD. But my goal, my plan, is once I'm past the divorce, which again is going to take some time to heal, once I'm past rebuilding, getting back to where I was before I was married, my own place, solid job, maybe a pet, It sounds like a lonely life, but at that point, I felt really solid. And before you get married, you have this, you feel solid. But then you meet this other person. It's just like, I could be more solid. I get goosebumps thinking about it. I think about the first time I met her. Um, and when we got married, the hopes and the dreams. Again, heavy. But um, that's the state I want to get back to. And then I will get back to, because I have my nights where I'll lay in bed and I'll just be like, can I really get back to that state though? I mean, is there a hole in me? I know it's a tear, because it feels like there's something there that's not there. Should be there, but it's not there. And that's marriage, because you link with that person. You go full haul with that person in a real marriage. A real marriage. There are marriages out there that are just like totally on the surface. I mean, there's no depth whatsoever. Um, and they don't last very long. Some of them actually build into real marriages, at least in my experience. But and again, I think that the biggest part of it was, this is my first marriage, my first divorce. I'm not used to this rodeo. I'm not used to this bull that's tossing me around. And so I've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with that. And there's a really awesome viewer. I'm not going to name any names, because I don't know how they would feel about that. But he sent me a message one night on Discord. He said, I know life is hitting you really hard right now. Just wanted to remind you that you're awesome. And you guys, a lot of you guys have said the same thing in different ways. And I can never thank you enough for those words, for the outreach, for the support. And it brings me to tears sometimes. I'm not going to do it here. I promised myself I wouldn't do it here. I'm not going to. It hits my heart to know that what a lot of people would consider random people on the internet that you never met physically, never heard their voice, most of them, only seen words on a screen, but that people that you've never met would take time out of their day to acknowledge you and to say, hey, here for you, thinking about you, hope you're doing well, you're awesome. They throw back at you what you throw at them. After every stream, I'm always saying, just remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. And I say that because I mean it. But the fact that I've got people telling me the same thing means that there's good coming from the work and the happiness and the enjoyment I put into these streams. And I gotta say, that helps a lot to rebuild me, to rebuild Silent. Kenny, as it were. Silence and Alias. But Kenny is what I'm rebuilding. And of course, Kenny is silent. Not right now. I'm obviously talking. I'm not silent. Anyway. Never mind. But anyway, I guess I wanted to kind of relay to you guys what's been happening. And that, to thank you for your patience, and just to let you know that life has been a storm. There may be some more thunderclouds on the horizon that will affect streaming, that will affect my life again. I can't say for sure, but I have a feeling that this isn't fully over yet. At least not till getting to a stable point in my life. I mean, I get the feeling there's going to be a couple more hurdles come up before I can get to the point of being where I was. And in that essence, I mean, having my own place, stable job, car, all that. I don't mean being the guy I was. I'll never be the guy I was back then. I've grown. I've branched out. I've matured, gained more experience, leveled up, if you will. So, you can never go back to that. But what you can do is get to a state to where you feel comfortable, and you feel like your life is somewhat, not as rickety. This is what I look forward to. So, but with that, I have carried on for 15 minutes. I just realized the time. But yeah, it's again, a lot has happened. I got laid off again. There's been some hard times, but I can't thank you guys enough for being there. And if you've made it to the end of the video here, I really appreciate you, and I thank you for listening. And for those that did make it to the end of the video, you can't hear this, but you're still awesome. And for those that are still here, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. I'm also going to go ahead and apologize for any audio problems that may arise with this video. Weird camera angles. Still a work in progress. Still getting set up here. Going from there. So, again, I'll say salute. And again, remember, you're awesome, Silent Squad. Never let the world tell you otherwise. And I will see you soon. Peace.